You might feel like your masculine's completely MIA from social media, and this is just not like them, which is why you guys can see a lot of the changes happening within them too, especially around isolating, because when the divine feminines went through their journey. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well as always. So I've got a reading here. It's going to be focused on the Divine Masculine Collective, and like what I'm like intuitively feeling is that they don't see the rainbow that's on the other side of the storm, because they're going through it right now, and a lot of them are feeling really lonely. They're digging into work more than anything else. But there's also this sense of longing and missing their divine feminines. And I think that the divine feminines have also, within the past few months, been under a lot of illusions. Like many of you might have found yourselves digging in more to like karmic readings or like the darker sides of this journey, or really wanting to like stick it to your divine masculine and the karmic situations. But I feel like you guys are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Many of you are starting to dream of your counterparts again. The dreams are providing you with a lot of clarity. And I just want to take a moment here to thank all of the readers in this YouTube community for showing up and doing what you guys do every day. And sometimes the messages are dark, sometimes the messages are light, and you guys can't help it. It's like whatever needs to come out for the collective. All right, I'm going to use this to find out where the divine masculines are at this time, and just get a little bit of insight as to what it is they've been going through in their tower moments and in the dark night of the soul, because I do feel a lot of like sadness, isolation. A lot of them are, you know, in that process again of cutting off people, and it feels really lonely because there's just no one around, no one to talk to. But I think I've mentioned this in past readings before, is that, you know, the universe is wanting them to kind of go within. You know, envious gluttony too comes from just watching the divine feminine create a lot of abundance in her life. And as much as they want to be proud of her, I think many masculines are feeling a little bit left behind. They don't have access to the divine feminine spiritually anymore, because I feel like many of you have pulled back your energy and focused on yourselves a little bit more, because you have understood that there is part of this journey that the divine masculines must walk on their own in order to gain a lot of the strength and courage to show up, in order to really take things to the next level with you, because that's where a lot of you guys were butting heads with your counterparts. Many divine masculines would speak with you divine feminines, and they would feel so naked in front of you. A lot of them felt like, she just knows everything. Like, it doesn't even make sense for me to try to talk with her until I do the inner work, because they felt so insecure at times. Having conversations with you, it's almost like you guys would speak, and whether you were exchanging information about your karmic connections, or knowing that the other was in a situationship or a relationship or a marriage, whatever the case is, and many of you knew that your masculines were not being authentic. And I think over and over and over again, there's a lot of you who took accountability for yourselves and decided to remove yourself from the situation rather than waiting around for your counterpart to do that. And there is a lot of envy around this action that you've taken, divine feminine. And I think that many masculines are in this space now where, you know, they are going through, I'm getting dog eat dog world. Okay, I'll give you guys a closer look at this card here, but that's the message that I'm getting. And a lot of you might be wondering, like, okay, why does the energy feel so dense? You might feel like your masculine's completely MIA from social media, and this is just not like them, which is why you guys can see a lot of the changes happening within them too, especially around isolating, because when the divine feminines went through their journey, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because a lot of you removed yourselves from social media. You started seeing like putting your life up on display in this way was just like behavior that was like repulsive to you. You know, you guys were like, okay, goodness, I need to focus my time elsewhere, because the hours in my day are precious. And so a lot of you started creating and really, like, you know, of course the famous term for it is your glow up or glowing up. But I like, even more than that, divine feminines, like, I see you guys like taking self-care to the very extreme, and it's because many of you have needed it. a lot of your divine masculines, like from a dark perspective, they just see you guys like enjoying life and like are not bothered by them. You guys could care less about what's going on with them. And the reason they're feeling like that is because when you're in the dark night of the soul, your ego tends to get the best of you. It's like he's telling himself the worst right now, and he might not even be on social media because he's so afraid of running into a photo of you or running into some type of information about you or see what you're doing, and it's like having them spiral out of control type of thing. So a lot of you too are just not being guided to even go on social media as well, or even provoke your divine masculines in this way, because you guys just know, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Many of you are just like, yo, I'm gonna just lay low right now. Even if you guys are enjoying yourselves, you're refraining from like taking photos or pulling out your phone every single second to be like, oh, look at me, like look at what I'm doing. A lot of you guys are just like, no, I think I'm just gonna enjoy the moment in private, do my thing. And I have the Alone in the World card here because, again, it's like so infuriating at times, divine feminine, even to your masculines, people watching you, okay, that you guys are alone in the world, but you're enjoying your solitude. Okay, this card is absolutely beautiful. The number 6 as well represents perseverance, and I think that many of you have persevered through the loneliness, right? The rejection, the abandonment, watching your masculines go in and out of karmic situations while you guys chose to be alone and hone in on your gifts and your spiritual awakening. And you guys started getting creative, and you started understanding that sexual energy that your masculine was giving to you was provided to you to create pentacles, you know. And that's a real thing, guys. A lot of you, like when you have projects going on, like whether you guys create on Etsy or Amazon or YouTube, or you have your own blogs or whatever you guys are doing that's like creative, you will see that the minute you start getting set up and you start getting ready to dig into your work, you feel the energy in like your yoni area, okay? And that sexual energy you can create. Sometimes you guys will get so worked up, you're like, man, I gotta go take care of business before I sit down to work, because it's just such a high vibrational energy that's coming through. And this divine feminine knows that. Like, she's so vulnerable here because I think that she's been through it. With her clothes off and her sitting here in solitude, she has no more shame left about this whole twin flame connection, this whole twin flame journey. You know, because I feel like at this point, she accepts that she loves her masculine, and she accepts that, you know, in order to even come out and say that, she has to have faith and love in herself in order to make this decision and come out and say this. And many masculines are going through it as well, where it's like they have to start enjoying the solitude rather than fearing it or sitting in it and being engulfed by a lot of the negative energies that are coming through, especially obsessing about what their divine feminines are doing. Because now that many of them are awakening to the fact that they are on a twin flame journey, a lot of masculines are working through like possession. Like they feel like, you know what, like she's mine, like she's my divine feminine type of thing. Whereas before they would have laughed if you guys talked about twin flames and divine feminines and stuff. But now that they are getting into the thick of this journey, they're feeling more and more like you're their twin soul, like you're their person. You'll always be their person. A lot of relationships with the divine masculine, friendships, whatever they have got going on, have really come to like a swift end, and many of them are in solitude, you know. Let's go ahead and get one more card from this deck around like endings for the divine masculine. So calling the storm. Okay, so we have the energy of the 3 there. And this card is like, bring it on. You know, that's what a lot of them need to do, is get out of this envious gluttony energy and realize that the darkness is meant to help them grow. It's like, bring on the negative experiences, bring on the shadow work. Because I feel like many masculines too, like, because they're in the masculine energy, they learn so much from a lot of what they go through, especially when they have dark nights of the soul. And many of you experience symptoms of your masculine having the dark night of the soul because you can feel the heaviness. You can feel the missing, the longing. The types of song synchronicities you get are often about, like, you know, feeling alone in the world, or wanting to give up, or just always loving you, and types of songs like that. You know, you guys will know how it comes through in your own journey. But, you know, aside from this dark energy, that they're feeling, you know, they're missing you. And that's why I have my tarot of sexual magic, because, you know, I really just want to dig into what it is they have in their heart for you, Divine Feminine. So I really do ask for guidance, universe, angels, on what the Divine Masculines are really feeling in their hearts for their Divine Feminines right now. Okay, those are a lot of cards, so I'm only going to take what came face up, which is the Eight of Pentacles, and what's at the very top here, which is our King of Wands. So this is like what he is anticipating after this envious gluttony and the dark night of the soul type of thing, okay? Because I feel like when many masculines step out of this, and also they are knowing for an intuitive fact that their Divine Feminines are enjoying this energy already, and her Queen of Wands energy, creating new projects, starting new ideas, you know, just really being decisive and taking action. This is the energy that they are waiting to get into, because, you know, the Eight of Pentacles is coming up, and many masculines just want to provide for you, Divine Feminines. Like, it's like a need within them, and to see themselves going through a lot of tower moments, okay? And this might be many masculines are in jobs right now that they are finding is not fulfilling, it's not passionate, because they've seen you do the same things, Divine Feminine. A lot of you have moved away from the typical like 9 to 5, because you felt like there's something more. I'm being called to do something more, and it's because of this twin flame experience. And they're starting to mirror that. Like, they don't want so much of their time going towards a job that they're feeling unfulfilled at. And this could be feeling unfulfilled from, they know that their skills require or is requiring more of them. Like, many of your Divine Masculines, guys, like, they might work in jobs where they're used to like being like the lead hand on the job, or they're used to running a crew. And when they really stop and think about it, they know that they're supposed to be starting up their own business and hiring a crew to work for them, and going and getting jobs of their own. Or maybe they're feeling like, you know, they need to create something as well, or a lot of them can use their skills to like be entrepreneurs is the word I'm getting, or like be the boss type of thing. And what's unfulfilling is that they don't like being spoken to. Like, they don't like being like under their manager's command, or under a supervisor's command, because many of your masculines can feel like, hey, I am the supervisor, you know? So like, that's everything that they're thinking about right now, is getting into this energy. And messages that they're getting is like not to procrastinate too much in this darkness. Like, instead of sitting there feeling miserable about the fact that you're finally waking up to the twin flame journey, but now it's like your feminine seems unattainable. She seems unreachable. You can't get through to her, not even spiritually. And it's because the universe is telling you, don't worry about what she's doing. She's just fine, and she's alone. So you don't have to let your mind get the best of you here. Call in the storm here, and stop procrastinating on things that you want to do, Divine Masculines. And many feminines have been through this as well, where I feel like a lot of us have lost focus at times when we were supposed to be like working or creating or doing something. It's like, oh God, you're just obsessed about your connection, right? Your connection with your masculine. But the universe is letting these masculines know, don't worry. Like, look at her sipping the coffee there. Like, she's just fine taking her time. Sipping is what I get. And when you sip something, it's like you're just taking your time, enjoying it. So you want to make this offer to her here with the Eight of Pentacles. Keep going with the energy of the 8 here, Divine Masculines. Keep going and do what you guys need to do. And I feel like many masculines need to hear that message right now, because feminines, like, a lot of them are feeling the worst of it. Like, they're like, oh my God, it's done. And now that it's done, or she's walked away, I'm waking up to this feeling of, this means something more to me. Don't worry about that right now, Divine Masculine. She is aware, and the universe will support you guys through dreams and telepathy and feelings of her knowing her spiritual path as well. So you got to trust that, but more so in this King of Wands energy here, like, it's time to, you know, get affiliated with things that are going to bring you closer to her. And I think that it has a lot to do with your work and your creative projects, because that's where a lot of you feel confident. You feel like you feel of service, and when you start feeling that, your sexual energy starts expanding, and you know, it's really your Divine Feminine that you want to express that sexuality with. All right, so I hope you guys have found this reading well. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.